We're going to discuss today how to do regression models using the graphing calculator. We'll also talk about how to find residuals, and we'll talk about correlation as well. So this is hot topic number 1. We're going to look at, on the first page, we're going to look at question number 3, which is in the bottom right corner. And there's a kind of a couple parts for this. They want us to state an equation, and based on the data table, they want us to use x is 0 as the year 2007. And then it says y is your attendance when you write the equation out. So they also want us to round to the nearest hundredth, and then state the correlation coefficient, which is the r value, to the nearest hundredth. And they want us to determine whether it's a strong or weak association between those values. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my year values. It says 0 is 2007. So that would mean 2008 would be 1 year later. Then we have 2 years later. Then we have 4 years later and 6 years later. So they try to throw us off by skipping years. So now that I got my table set up, I'm going to go ahead right now, turn this on, go to Stat, and Edit, and I'm going to put in my years, the time, into L1. So we got 0, 1, 2, 4, and 6. And I'm going to go to L2 to put in the attendance. So we got 8.3, 2 8.5s, 8.8, and 9.3. So we need the linear regression equation. So I'm going to go to Stat and then Calc. And 4 is linear regression. Sometimes they ask for exponential, which would be down here under 0. For this one, I'm going to choose 4. Now, I can get the first couple parts for this from the equation. So, best way to do it is to write down the equation. And you can also write down what the a and b values are. So I'm going to write down the first 5 digits for each, just for right now, and then we'll round it. So now we're going to take those values, round them to, like it said, the nearest hundredth, which would be 2 decimal points in. So my equation is going to end up being 0.16x plus 8.27. So I got to take that 5 because there's a 7 past it, bump it up. Same thing with this 6. There's a 9 past it, so I got to bump it up to a 7. The other value we need is r. They want r to the nearest hundredth, so this one's going to be 0.97. And then they're asking us to determine whether it's a strong or weak association. In this case, it's a strong association. It's strong because it's close to 1. If it was weak, it'd be closer to 0. Also, it could be strong if it was close to -1, but in this case, the attendance is going up, so the correlation will be strong. Okay. So, make sure that with each of these questions that you look for the rounding. Also, read the table carefully, because sometimes, like this one, they want you to change it to 0, 1, 2, 4, and 6 from the years. And the other thing is to make sure that when you write the equation, look for how they want you to represent it. This one tells us to represent it in terms of y for attendance, and then x, like it says here, x equals 0 for the years. So sometimes they may ask us to write it a little differently.